Hello little buns and hello newcomers. Welcome to my home. It is Stef. That's my name. America, I am so sorry. Of course, a lot of you, although less than half of you, did vote Trump. You're still going to have to deal with those consequences, and even the people that voted Trump are going to have to deal with the consequences. Different consequences for each community, but there are still consequences in every single route. And to be fair, with every single election, no matter who gets in office, there's going to be consequences. But this was a very bad choice. Another reality is that this is bigger than America. A lot of countries are going to be affected by this. The stock market is already plummeting, except for the private prison industry, which is very transparent. My immediate reaction was anger. I was furious. This is not going to be an angry video though. I have processed those emotions. What I want to do is outline what the Trump presidency means for me and for the trans community and for other communities as well, but I can only speak from my experience and from the fears of what my peers have. Ultimately, I just want to show you where we can put our hope. I want you to know that this is not the end, and we're going to talk through it a little bit, okay? This is, in fact, the climax of something that's been brewing for a very long time. You could say since the 60s, since the last civil rights movement, because really, to be very honest with you, nothing was really dealt with. Sugar was put on top. That was it. There's a lot that we still have to fix. And it's very possible that this is where we deal with these issues today, over the next 4 years, or less, or 8 years, who knows? The first thing that happened when I realized that Clinton was not winning by a landslide was I experienced disassociation for the very first time. It's a very strange feeling. My vision was distorted, almost like I was looking down from above my head and it was like warped. So weird. My head felt light, like it was floating, and I couldn't feel anything else in my body. It was a very strange feeling, and the fact that I experienced that for the first time in my life, somebody that survived sexual assault, all kinds of harassment, the fact that this election, me sitting at home in my house and just knowing that this was coming, that's what made me experience this. That's pretty freaking big. Bottom line is I knew I was angry. I was sharing my outrage with everybody online on Twitter. We were all sort of having this collective panic. And I saw a lot of people, especially white liberals, like young white liberals, being shocked that Trump was winning. And while I was really hoping he wouldn't, I am absolutely not shocked that he won. Not even a little bit. Here's the reality, is when you are a person of color, when you are a part of the LGBT community, and you've experienced hatred before, you know that hatred can unify people in power to keep them comfortable. You know that. Even if it's a small time situation, like in a high school, you know that the popular people who have nothing to lose by not being mean to you are going to be mean to you anyway because it makes them feel comfortable. So you know that hatred can unify people in a very bad way. I think people thought that he had very little real support and very little real votes, so they got complacent. They figured there's no way that this reality TV star with no political experience, policies, or agenda is going to get into power because nobody will really vote for him. But they voted for him. It was very possible because he fed the flames in a lot of people, a lot of angry people. And he took their anger and directed it at an easy source, something that was easy for them to catch on to. And that's what happened. I also want to dismiss the idea that it's third-party voters who deserve the blame for getting Trump into office. Yes, it's true that some of the states might have swung to blue had there been a little bit more votes for Clinton. However, let's be very real and very clear. The actual issue here is that people support Trump. People voted for him. A lot of people voted for him. The real problem is that people have been convinced that he's actually a good businessman, that he's a good example, that he's going to be an effective leader. He is none of those things. He inherited his wealth, squandered it on a bunch of bankrupt businesses, which should be common knowledge by now. He bragged about sexually assaulting women, which was very clear and very blatant, and his rhetoric increased hate crimes occurring in the states exponentially. But none of these things disqualify him from being a good businessman, a good leader, or a good example. Sure. Now here's the thing. Donald Trump won't actually be president until January 20th. There is time before he can start pushing and passing laws and whatever other such things. A lot of people are saying it's going to be okay because he'll have trouble passing these things like every other president. And that is not exactly true. The reason why other presidents have trouble passing laws or getting their agendas through that they're trying to push is because the Senate and them come from different parties usually. Usually the Senate majority is of a different party. And that means basically that they're pressured to not let the government become like another party. With Donald, both Him and the majority in the Senate are Republican, which means they're going to be pressured to push each other's agenda forward and really Republicanize the government. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't want you to despair, and like I said, this is not meant to be a video to drag you down. We're getting to the good part, I promise. I'm not going to tell you that we have any political power in the Senate because that's not realistic. But something very, very, very important and very huge and honestly quite beautiful that has come out of this election that I've understood is that the young people, my generation, the millennials, I don't even know if I count as a millennial. I'm 20 years old. Am I a little bit too young? I don't know. In a world where my generation, the millennials, young people, in a world where they were the only people living in the United States, Donald Trump would have only gotten 24 electoral votes and Hillary Clinton would have gotten 504. You need 270 to win, okay? So, wow. What this means is that the future generations of Americans really understand what is right and what is wrong. And the people that are promoting this hatred and this violence and this misunderstanding of other people is a very small fraction of the future generation. So we are going to be all right in time if we survive. And I don't think there's going to be a situation where literally every young person is going to be wiped out. Unless nuclear war happens and fallout becomes a reality. But let's not go there. Right now in this moment, a lot of us are healing. We're processing what's happened. Some of us are in shock. It is okay to feel these things. Again, Trump doesn't get that power until January 20th. So take some time to heal, but don't take too long. Because while Donald Trump doesn't get power until January 20th, his followers have been given a pat on the back for being cruel, basically. But when you feel better, support each other in taking action. And I don't mean a violent uprising, because to be very honest with you, I don't think any of you are ready for that. What I mean is to support each other directly. Support trans people, literally. Bring them into your home, help house them, help feed them, help them with their health care, help your communities, donate to the right funds, volunteer your time with the right organizations, with the right people. Black Lives Matter. We have to focus on these kinds of concepts and these kinds of groups because they're the ones that are going to lead us forward. They're the ones that are going to protect us. Okay, especially, you guys need to understand Black women have a huge history of being leaders in revolutions and leaders in protecting communities, and they don't get the credit for that. They never do. So if you want to know who to listen to Black women, okay? Because they know what's up. While I would like to say this has not changed the social climate of America too much, the reality is the KKK just got a pat on the back because the president that's been endorsed by the KKK just got elected. And that is pretty blatantly horrendous. And misogyny will continue to push women down in places of power, especially qualified women, because men think that they can just do it because they want to. They don't need experience or qualifications. Women don't get it. They don't get it because they do their hair pretty, they don't get it. But these are things we've been dealing with for a very long time, okay? People of color have been prosecuted for their race for a very long time. Women have been shut down for a very long time. LGBT people have been hunted like dogs for a very long time. This is not new. We are used to this. We can keep fighting it. I know it felt like it was gonna be a brand new age. It was gonna be a golden dawn and we were all gonna be kind of liberated, a little bit at least. But that's not what happened. So try not to fall prey to the idea that we've gone backwards 100 years and instead maybe think, okay, we haven't gone backwards 100 years, we just haven't gone forward 100 years. Unfortunately, I really hesitate to use this wording, but the enemy has a confidence boost right now, okay? So you have time to heal, but you need to heal fast. Black Lives Matter will still protest injustices. They will still show up for Black lives being taken. And trans people, we need to stay here on this plane of existence. This is something I really don't want to share with you, but it's important. Since the election, and I haven't checked my social media for a little bit because I've been writing this video, but at least 8 young trans people have taken their lives as a direct result of this presidency because they felt like they could not live in this country, that they could not escape. And I understand the frustration and the solitude and the hopelessness that they felt. You just have to try so hard not to give into that. I will put resources in the description box for you if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling solitary, if you're feeling like you can't handle this, please reach out to one of these numbers. Don't take your own life. It's not worth it. We can fight this. We can do this. We can survive. A friend of mine told me they fought so hard at Stonewall and in Toronto at the bathhouse raids and the Pussy Palace raids so that we wouldn't have to. As it turns out, we might just have to. So buckle up, find a hand to hold, and get ready to endure. We can endure. We're made of steel, little buns. Metallic bread. We might get toasted, but we'll still taste good. If you want to hear more of my immediate angry response to this, you can check out my Twitter. It is linked below. It's all there for posterity. All of my very colorful remarks. I just wanted this video to be a message of hope, not complacency and not misinformation, but I wanted you to walk away from this video feeling like we can do this. And I hope that you feel that way, because I know we can. While I wish in hindsight that I had done more to prevent this from happening, I don't know, I could have done something. I could have talked more about this, you know what I mean? What matters now is that we mobilize, that we understand the issues, that we understand where these people are coming from. Before I go, I want to be very clear on one very important issue. 14% of LGBT people voted for Donald Trump and Pence. What they don't understand is that this is going to directly harm them. What they thought they were doing, I think, is kind of protecting themselves from terrorism after the attack on Orlando. And I understand the immediate thought, but they did absolutely no research. Because Pence is the one that signed a bill in 2013 that would allow police to arrest any same-sex couples trying to get a marriage license. Pence is the one that is trying to re-legalize conversion therapy in the 5 states that it's illegal in, and the other, the other states it's still legal, by the way, just so you're aware of that. Conversion therapy, for those of you that don't know, is where they try to electrocute the gay out of children. Electroshock therapy for LGBT youth. That's what you voted for. I need you to understand that. Pence is also in favor of dissolving same-sex marriages and repealing the Same-Sex Marriage Act. So, you didn't save yourself from terrorism, you elected one. Just so you understand that. Just so we're clear. If you elected Trump and you understand now that that was a mistake, you need to do everything you can to fight with us. Okay? We are going to be okay. Until next time, I love you so much. Stick around, okay? There's so much left to live for and to fight for, and we are going to be just fine. We can do this, okay? It's gonna be hard work, it's gonna be hard times, but we can do this. I love you, and you are a steel Pokemon, okay? You are resilient, and you are super effective against those stubborn rock types. We've got this, babies. I love you so much, bye!